Hey y'all, welcome as we continue through the Song of Songs together. Today we are reading Song of Songs, chapter 7.
Chapter 7.
Chapter 7. There are two ways to destroy a marriage. You can blow it up in a ball of flames with infidelity, or bursts of anger, or something like that that's dangerous,
Or
or
you can go out and buy a 1965 Mustang all on your own and not consult somebody.
Or what was that story someone else did? They bought like a whole ranch
Oh,
and
yeah.
didn't tell their wife. Like those are
Like a
things that
$9 some million ranch that she didn't know.
yeah, so you can blow it up with a big huge ball of fire like those things.
I don't
Or
have that kind of amount of money that I try to hide from you.
I don't or for a lot of people who don't have $9 million to buy a secret ranch with, marriage literally just falls apart with a slow unraveling that happens over time
Mhm.
rather than a huge bang of a situation exploding in your face. In Britain, the number one cause of divorce is that couples simply grow apart. Don't think that's much different in America.
No, sounds similar.
In America, speaking of, 67.5% of all failed marriages fail because of a breakdown in communication. Not surprising. America, the independent, I can do it by myself country. Here we are. We are no longer in a society that talks in America. We become more and more and more isolated with the advancement of more and more and more technology.
Yeah.
We just simply don't know how to talk to each other. We don't even know what our feelings are or what we're feeling or how to express it. We're kind of a mess. For both countries, adultery is listed as the second reason for divorce, coming in at 30% for America. Survey after survey has revealed four key values that cause people to want to get married. Shockingly, love is not even one of them because you can love and not be married. Love actually becomes an engine that can drive you to a covenant of marriage. But why? What does marriage offer that we want so bad?
Mhm.
The first in the list is totality. People want totality. People want someone who wants all of them. Someone that they don't have to edit themselves to be with relationally, or you don't have to like apply a filter emotionally.
Mhm.
You can just be yourself. You can be totally you, emotionally, relationally, financially, physically, like all of it. People don't just want someone to live with, they want someone to live for.
Mhm.
The second reason is children. People want love to literally become life, a life that lives beyond them and into the future. The third reason that people desire marriage is permanence in the world of impermanence. People want something that will last. People enter into marriage because they really do want the till death do you part thing. The fourth reason is having someone you trust that you can be totally vulnerable with in every way, someone that you feel safe with. Our greatest vulnerabilities happen in places where we feel safe relationally, emotionally, and physically.
Mhm.
People want someone that is going to be there for them and with them through everything.
Yep.
Yet it seems like more and more in our culture, we are having trouble holding all these things together. The culture continually moves more and more to disintegration, not with a loud bang, but with the little biting and gnawing away at a time that causes relationships to crumble
Little
over
piece
time,
by piece.
piece by piece, like a tree degrading.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's why a lot of the upcoming generation are getting more and more cynical about the possibility of love and marriage. More and more
Mhm.
are just not even going for it.
Yep.
The good news is that it doesn't have to be that way. We can have relationships that do continue to flourish through the seasons and through all of life, which God's word is showing us and teaching us through this book. And any and every relationship that we have or will go through in life goes through stages. How we navigate through those stages makes all the difference in the world. Within this song, we've witnessed the stages of courtship, the wedding ceremony, marriage, the apathy that can creep into marriages, and the redemption from it. The Shulamite woman was the joy of everything for Solomon. Solomon intentionally pursued her with the anticipation of marriage. The marriage didn't stay in the honeymoon stage. It eventually moved into a season of apathy. They went through indifferences and withdrawal, renewed affection, steps towards reconciliation, restoration of intimacy, and communication of affections to each other again. This is where we now pick up and continue in their story today as we watch them now journey into a deepening of love together and how they keep that love alive in their marriage. We'll go ahead and start in verse 1.
How beautiful are your sandaled feet, O queenly maiden! Your rounded thighs are like jewels, the work of a skilled craftsman. Your navel is perfectly formed like a goblet filled with mixed wine. Between your thighs lies a mound of wheat bordered with lilies. Your breasts are like two fawns, twin fawns of a gazelle. Your neck is as beautiful as an ivory tower. Your eyes are like the sparkling pools in Heshbon, by the gate of Bath Rabbim. Your nose is as fine as the Tower of Lebanon, overlooking Damascus. Your head is as majestic as Mount Carmel, and the sheen of your hair radiates royalty. The king is held captive by its tresses. Oh, how beautiful you are! How pleasing, my love! How full of delights! You are slender like a palm tree, and your breasts are like its clusters of fruit. I said, I will climb the palm tree and take hold of its fruit. May your breasts be like grape clusters, and the fragrance of your breath like apples. May your kisses be as exciting as the best wine.
Solomon described his wife's beauty intimately, this time from foot to head. There is not just beauty in his description of her, there's nobility to her. There's something regal about her that he loves. She is expertly crafted by God, and it's perfect and beautiful. Like Shakira, her hips don't lie. She is royalty, and she is his royalty. He moves to her belly button and compares it to a bowl filled with wine. In case anyone is wondering, Solomon is the one who came up with body shots way back in 900 BC. Just kidding. He's really not talking about that. At least I don't think so. The beautiful portrait that he is painting for her, in all seriousness here, is that he is fully satisfied by every part of her.
Yeah.
She is a constant source of delight. She is not old or empty and dried out. He delights in her. He is still fascinated by her, and he sees her strength, elegance, and dignity. With every word, Solomon created a picture of a relationship that had been revived and restored back to its beginning. The love of his wife is nourishing for Solomon, and he expresses that to her. Previously, Solomon had been so smitten by her look, and he was overcome. But now he can watch her eyes and find beauty and excitement. The pools by Heshbon were beautiful and peaceful and filled with life. There's a reflectiveness and a depth and a mystery. Her nose is a fine tower of Lebanon. Lebanon had a prominent role in protecting the important city of Damascus. He feels safe with her. He can trust her and the way that she looks out for him and their family. When pouring out his compliments to her, he lingers at her neck, her eyes, her nose, and her hair.
Mm-hmm.
He has always thought that she was hot. He's attracted to her, but there's an esteem that has grown over time as well.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't just love her body, he loves her. He sees her. Dignity in their marriage hasn't vanished or gone to the wayside.
Yeah, I want to say it's like it's not a lust.
Yes. Thank you for that. Yes. It's not a lust. To keep love alive in marriage, we have to have a commitment to personal growth. When flaws are realized after the honeymoon phase fades, you are bound to this person and they now affect you in every way. What do you do when you find out the person you married is also a sinner just like you? I know. Shocking, right? What if they are a person who is committed to personal growth? That makes all the difference.
Mm.
If they are, then you're going to look at them and realize that, yeah, this person is flawed. They're not perfect, but they're not stagnant. They're actually moving somewhere, and I like where it's going. Personal growth means that we grow together through our flaws. There may be some flakes in the water, but it's not a stagnant pool. It's a flowing river. When Jesus brings his grace into our lives, it's not just a ticket to heaven. The same God who rescues us works in and through our lives. He puts his spirit within us and he works through all the things. When we see the flaws of our spouse, it is comforting to know that, hey, yeah, they're flawed, but they're a flawed person of faith, and
Mm.
God is still moving in all of us. God will shape both of us and will work on both of us separately and together. We need to be committed to growth if we want enduring relationships. If you're not married yet and are considering marriage, be sure you marry someone who is pursuing the holiness of Jesus and his presence desperately.
Yeah. Yep.
You want someone who wants to be loving and kind and generous and pure and upright. You will benefit from their desire for Jesus and his presence and the holiness of Jesus. Nobody's perfect, but if you are with people who are passionate for Jesus
Yeah.
in your inner circle of life and in your relationships, it makes all the difference of the world.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be wanting to be in a marriage where you don't get bored also. You grow together as two people who are constantly pursuing the Lord. Boredom is prevented by being a person who is always growing, because then you're going to be a couple that is also always growing together. Permanence comes with a commitment to personal growth, being shaped by God for his glory and the good of the person and people closest to you. Another way to keep love alive in marriage is to celebrate the good. Solomon communicated to his wife. He complimented her. He externalized what he valued. As human beings, it's our nature to take things for granted. Again, shocking. What we come to expect, we begin to neglect. We assume that because we said I do, our spouses know that we love him or her. So we don't think that we have to go out of our way to say nice things, things that are kind, appreciative, or complimentary. In a committed relationship, it is our job to be our spouse's primary cheerleader. Our primary encourager
Yep.
should come from our spouses. Human nature tends to focus on flaws. That's just kind of the way our human nature is wired because of the sin of this world. To keep a marriage alive, we don't put our head in the sand and pretend that we are all perfect and we all have no flaws. But we do have to intentionally focus primarily on what is beautiful and amazing about the person. Make it a daily priority to celebrate and cheer for your spouse. What's celebrated ends up being repeated.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let compliments fade. If we keep throwing wood on the fire, it is going to keep burning. We need to celebrate what we see that is good. If our spouse is committed to growing and developing and learning, that's how we're going to find each other's interests, and we can keep celebrating and keep talking to each other through that. Most of our favorite moments in our marriage are moments where we are literally just sitting outside talking in the evening.
Mm-hmm.
Most of our most valuable moments have come from just sitting outside with silence and the stars and nature and just talking. We don't have really shows that we watch together. Not that that's a bad thing to have shows that we watch together, but we really don't have a lot of time,
No.
and we like
No.
to just talk to each other. We're both learning and experiencing things that are interesting, and we like to talk to each other about those things because we are committed to personal growth and growth together. We have to intentionally fight the pull towards disintegration, and we do that with celebration and admiration. Vulnerability and safety go hand in hand. If we feel safe, feel that we're cared for, valued, loved, and honored, then we are more open to being vulnerable with each other. He sees his wife as a palm tree, which is beautiful and fruitful. I love palm trees.
It's your favorite
It
tree.
is my favorite tree. There's reconciliation that we have seen come into the relationship. There's good communication and there's celebration. And we'll continue in verse 9b.
Yes, wine that goes down smoothly for my lover, flowing gently over lips and teeth. I am my lover's, and he claims me as his own. Come, my love, let us go to the fields and spend the night among the wildflowers. Let us get up early and go to the vineyards to see if the grapevines have budded, if the blossoms have opened, and if the pomegranates have bloomed. There I will give you my love. There the mandrakes give off their fragrance, and the finest fruits are at our door, new delights as well as old, which I have saved for you, my lover.
Solomon's wife responds for a third time, and she describes her loyal love and devotion for Solomon. She responds to his many compliments, assuring him of their mutual love and devotion. Surveys continually confirm that women need to feel cherished and valued, and in more recent surveys, men are finally admitting that they also desire to be cherished and valued. The weight of value can be different, but value is still the desire.
Yeah.
We want someone who understands what's meaningful to us and does that thing. Someone who is for us. It's a cycle of continually supporting and encouraging each other. She says, I am his, and he claims me as his. She sees that as they grow together, he doesn't start aiming his desires elsewhere. He doesn't look at other women as they walk by or take his desires to a screen. He takes his desires to her.
Yeah.
A number of studies from lawyers have confirmed that the number one reason for divorce in America today is social media. We scroll through other people's lives and create these fantasy versions of life that don't really exist.
Yeah.
It causes contempt and dissatisfaction and drifting to enhance. And the dissatisfaction grows, and the one we are with no longer seems valuable all of a sudden because we're living in this fantasy world that isn't even true. The third thing to keep a marriage alive and thriving is covenant commitment. I belong to you and you belong to me forever. It's a tight circle that no one else gets in the way of on screen or off screen, which is a huge value for our relationships and for God. We need to aim our affections at the person we promise to love until death parts us. We are so knit together that our lives and our names have joined and we literally belong to each other. We have to be committed to not let the enemy put these little granules of resentment in our hearts, allowing that division and separation to start creeping in. We need to push through with healthy communication, and we need to talk to each other. So the Shulamite woman invited him to go on a trip into the country with her, something that he asked her to do when he was showing his interest in her in chapter 2.
Little getaway.
Yeah. And sometimes visiting another place brings a new freshness into relationships. She was completely vulnerable with Solomon, and he was vulnerable with her. They trust each other. She is saying she's not going to leave and go to some other vineyard. She wants to go to his vineyard. This is the one she wants to cultivate. This is the one she wants to work on. She says, let's get away and keep working on this together. She says that she has some fruit, old and new. She is saying she's going to keep this thing fresh and have fun together. We're good. Let's keep going. Let's keep investing in this. There's no such thing as falling out of love with someone. That's a lame excuse. It's like saying I fell out of shape. Like it just is. It's
Doesn't work.
not reality. It's not how it works. Yeah. There are decisions and intentionality involved. We have to keep a marriage alive by cultivating it and being intentional. You work, you find ways to get away and work together on things. It costs time, it costs money, it costs effort. The trend of culture is moving more and more, like we've said many times, toward isolation.
Yep.
We have to intentionally row against that current if we want to have real and lasting relationships in our marriages and in our friendships. We have to be intentional. On a side note, this relationship is a healthy relationship built on foundation the foundation of God, and it is pure and unadulterated, trusting and safe. Abusive love is not love.
Right.
Abuse is not love that comes from Jesus, and it should never be accepted.
Right.
God does not want his children abused. That
No.
is not okay. It is never okay to stay in that type of situation or relationship ever. We need to get help. Abuse is not love. It's manipulation that causes pain and trauma. God does not want any of his children abused, and he does not accept abuse for his children.
Right.
It is not okay ever. If anyone is in an abusive relationship, they need, please get help.
Yep.
Reach out to someone you trust who can help you and guide you to safety. We should never accept abuse from anyone under the cover of love, because that is a lie from the pit of hell. It is manipulation, it is deceit, and it is evil, and it is not okay. So,
Well said.
that being said, true love that is pure and true is patient and kind and gentle. It waits for the right time and the right purpose. It is enjoyable and safe, and it protects. It doesn't hurt. The world takes notice of relationships that flourish in and through Jesus, and how God actually designed relationships to be from the very beginning. Our relationships point to Jesus and point others to Jesus. Jesus is the bridegroom. He wants to spend time with us. Yeah. He wants a real and true and personal relationship with each and every one of us. He wants to spend quality time and commune with us. It's up to us to surrender all and answer his call, his invitation. Ephesians 5 verses 25 through 26 tells husbands to love their wives just as Jesus loved the church, and he gave himself for her to make her holy, cleansing her with the washing of the water of his word, and redeeming her with his blood. That is the kind of relationship that God intends for us to have and enjoy. When we are in a relationship with someone who loves Jesus with all their guts, you will be with someone who is committed to growing, who celebrates the good while not denying the flaws. As we celebrate each other, we make a covenant saying we're not going anywhere. We are here for the long haul. You are with each other through thick and thin. We have to be intentional about cultivating that, and we need to work to deepen our relationships to be all they can possibly be. The bond of love in marriage is strong. Solomon and his wife display a balanced marriage. They went through a time of restoration, and they came back to a place of enjoyment in their relationship. They paused and then got back to their first love. Solomon and his wife describe marriage as a dance, or like two armies marching together, each helping and defending each other. They don't battle with each other, but they attack anything that could threaten their marriage. Anything coming in from the outside that could threaten, they join together and attack it and keep it away. And we need to make time to communicate in these relationships that we have and deflect any enemy forces that try to break through the wall of our defenses. Yeah. We need to connect emotionally and physically so that we can connect intimately just as the Lord designed us to. It's easy to let busy schedules get in the way of our relationships. We know this. It's true. It's hard. But that still is not an excuse. The Lord intended marriages to remain united as one for all the days that we live on this earth. We need to seek the Lord together, step out in faith, and love as Jesus first loved us. God has purposes planned in and through our marriages, and we need to step out together, following Jesus, and let him lead us to his divine purpose for our lives, both individually and together in our marriages. Sea otters actually, when they sleep, they actually hold each other's hands when they sleep so that they don't drift apart. Like, we need to be like sea otters. Like, no matter what we're doing, we need to hold tight to each other.
As if sea otters aren't adorable enough.
I know, right? They literally like join their little paw hands together when they sleep, and it's so sweet and cute. We need to do that. We need to be like sea otters, y'all. The truth is, we all blow it. None of us get this right or perfect. The Bible is honest about how we are sinful, treacherous liars, and how we get things wrong. Solomon, the one writing this very book we're reading from, he started out well. He started out great. He prayed. He surrendered. He dedicated the altar of worship to the Lord. Like, he started out fantastic. which we actually see here in this book. He started out in this marriage exactly how God intended it to be, beautiful and glorious and fulfilling. But he too fell. He was such a mess by the end of his kingship that he left a huge crater in his relationships, and the whole nation literally split in two.
Yeah.
We need to be honest, and we need to confess when we get it wrong, because we don't get everything right, and it's okay. God gives us grace. God
Yeah.
is honest about sin in the Bible and lets sin stand at its full height. He doesn't diminish it or make excuses. But where sin abounds, grace abounds more. The weight of sin is heavy, but God's grace is heavier. The weight of God and who he is and his glory is heavier. The power of Jesus to heal and forgive and restore the fields that the locusts have eaten and make a door of trouble into a valley of hope far surpasses any wrong that we've done in our past. Jesus can and does bring healing and restoration wherever it's needed in our lives and in our relationships. That's the gospel. That's Jesus. That's why he came.
Yep.
He died and he rose from that grave so that we could all have the option to repent and receive his life. He died so we could have the option to start again. God sent his rescuer to show up and pay the full price for all of us. That's what his love is like. He gives us the very best of the best of him. He gives us the very best that all of heaven has to offer. He is aware of our failings, and he still chose to die for us.
Mm-hmm.
When we are in the valley of trouble, sitting in rubble and ash, that's where the gospel begins. God has a plan for beauty and enjoyment in our lives and in our marriages. We can choose to follow his plan if we are willing to confess and be honest with our struggles, humble ourselves, and follow his will in life. In our marriages, in our lives and marriages, follow his will.
Yeah.
God literally took the absolute worst day of human history, the death of Jesus, and he made it into the very instrument of our redemption. Jesus uses our ashes and tears in the soil to bring forth life again, and he turns our valleys of trouble into doorways of hope. The God of holy standard is the God who met that standard for us and empowers us by and through his grace to live it out in our relationships today, and it's amazing. The grace of God can move in and change us, and he does. The grace of God can continue to work in and through us if we're willing to let him. God is in the business of blessing individuals and marriages. Through Jesus, our lives and relationships can thrive for decades and decades to come.
Yeah.
If we're willing to let him rule and reign and lead.
Mm-hmm.
And be honest. That's where we'll stop today. We hope you all are having a glorious day in the Lord.